Boy, Cohen, boy.
The damage inside from the edif, how do you say edif in English?
Shock.
Shock from the shockwave? From the shockwave inside, all of the nail lights fell and they're hanging on their wires. And some of the lights themselves shattered.
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel.
No,
Edif. No.
Expansive.
The force wave.
Shock. Expansive.
There you go,
pressure.
force wave. And it's, you know, it's funny, like when you throw a stone in the water and it jumps. So, and that's what happened to the ceiling inside. From what went here, it kind of skipped across the ceiling and ripped one time, yes, one time. Right? I don't know. Maybe one and now will. This isn't as bad as the house. The house next to us here was really torn apart, was ruined again from the shock wave and the shrapnel that went in through the window, which I was shocked. There's holes in the refrigerator. I mean, it went on such an angle that it went through, it landed here in the street, went through the kitchen windows, through the closets, and went inside the freezer. They took their shrapnel out of the freezer. So you can imagine the force. Suddenly when you see something like that, you realize the damage it can do.
What do you do here when a rocket lands?
What do we do? Now, thanks to that we have home shelters, most of us. If we're at home, it's not as frightening as it was the war. If you're out on the streets, it's very difficult because we have like about 10 seconds from the either siren of it kind of screams at us, color red, and that's our code warning. And if we're close enough, then we have spread out through the kibbutz different big cement tunnels and stuff that we can hide behind and get in. But yes, sewer pipes. Yes, that's what they've been. This kibbutz is kibbutz Nir-Oz.
Right, you use these sewer pipes. You don't actually have proper miklatim.
Let them first answer.
We have proper miklatim. The shelters we have for normal life for everything. There's no normal here anymore. But these are scattered across the kibbutz and closer. It's not quite like we have to run down to a shelter. These are just to get in, and they're around on the sidewalks and everywhere. You can see a few of them.
Are you prepared to continue to live here another 10, 20, 30 years with this kind of abuse?
That's a very pessimistic attitude. I'm hoping it's not going to be 10, 20, 30 years. I'm hoping it's going to be finished. I'm hoping that we're going to learn to live in peace and not the opposite. 30 years ago, it was wonderful. I used to, have you ever been in the Gaza Strip? Their beaches there are beautiful. I mean, it's like I always say that if they would put their money towards development of the country and not towards hate and war, they would have a wonderful, wonderful place. They get so many funds, and they just buy more war power instead of building hotels and a port. And I mean, the beaches there are beautiful. We used to go there every Saturday and walk around the markets and visit our friends that used to work here. And now we haven't been in there for years.
Have you had any contact with your friends there?
There's 3 of them that the kibbutz gave them cell phones that we could keep in contact with them. A lot of people try and send in food or clothing that is not needed here. But like they say, on both sides of the fence, there's the good people and the bad people.
And really, that sense of hope is enough to sustain a community here under that kind of duress?
You can't do anything else. If you feel this is your home and you've been here for so long and you know the other side, you know it can happen, you know it can, you could live peacefully together.
How should
you
it
know
be so?
Don't put me into politics now.
No, we're talking about emotions. I'm not interested in
Emotions?
politics at all. Yeah.
Okay, how can I live here?
Yeah.
Again, through knowing what once was, before what were the ones before the Hamas were in power, it was a whole different kind of life. We knew nothing like this. Today, it's very difficult. The fact that you only have 10 seconds before this ceasefire that we're having now. We've never had a ceasefire. We've been hearing, we get anywhere from 50 to 60 explosions, the sounds a month. Even when there is a ceasefire. We always say they're trying it out, they're testing things on the small communities along the border until they get enough ammunition for the bigger cities or whatever.
How old are the children here, and how did they react when they came in and saw the
I don't know.
damage?
I don't know. I wasn't here that same morning. As far as a mother in the house, Ranana, she's a mother. She brought her child in. But this exploded at 10 minutes to 6 in the morning, and I just said, thank God it wasn't 10 minutes to 7, because 10 minutes to 7, this whole road is just full of mothers and children bringing their, and people going out to work. So imagine what could have happened.
Covered by.
You're just going on when during such an escalation like we had in those last 4 days. Children are going to the kindergarten.
Yes, yes. We have a very strong system of working with parents and their children as far as social workers and teaching us and them how to react, how to adapt to each thing, how to explain this to a child. And the children's houses are the safest places we have on the kibbutz today because of this.
I understand, but maybe I came a bit too late and the question was asked before. If there is something like an alert, the children can just continue to play,
Yes.
or do they have to go to a special
No. They
room
continue.
inside? This is enough for.
Yes. Well, you see, one did get through the window.
Carol.
Okay.
It got through the window?
Yes, it went through the window, and you can see here. There's 2 holes in the ceiling. You see up top there, next to the neon light, you see like a rip in the panel. But and the other ones on the other side from the shockwave, just the lights fell down.
Carol,
Yes.
how many members are here?
Here we have 150 members,
And about how many families?
and there's now living here about 350 people.
How many children?
Children, wait a minute, that should be
Roughly.
roughly probably 150, something like that. Yes.
Could you repeat your name, please?
Carol Simantov.
And could you give us your, do you have a title? Or
A title, I'm the community nurse.
Right.
I'm a registered nurse. I work here half, 50% there, and I work in another small community of the people that were, what's the word? That left the deportation of the
Evacuees from
Evacuees
from
Gush
Gush Katif,
Katif.
yes.
where are you
Uprooted.
from
So,
originally?
Pennsylvania,
And
from the
when did you
States.
come to Israel?
In 1974.
So have you been treating children or families here for trauma as a result of what happened this week?
Yes, we've had a lot of this week. You don't feel it immediately. Most of the people that we're treating now are still from the war 2 years ago. And these are also people, ambulance drivers, workers that helped evacuate the wounded. But I think once you see a body or building, the how that's not protected like this, how it is torn apart, it's something you suddenly realize what could happen to a person, what could really happen, or if I was 10 feet closer, or just my luck that the shrapnel went the other way.
Have you been in such a
It's very
situation?
difficult.
Have you been in such
I've
a situation?
we've had 2 people one was badly wounded, lost his legs, and another one died. And yeah, it's not easy.
Do you speak
Once
to people
see
in
this-
Pennsylvania?
Yes, I do.
What do they ask?
They don't understand why I'm here.
You
They
realize
keep-
that
they
the 5
keep
people.
saying, when are you coming home? And I'm saying, home, I've been here for 38 years already. So, sometime you have to accept that this is my home. And it's not easy. It's not easy because they do worry, and it's very different to get any kind of proportion. When I'm living here and it's turned sorry, Ken, I have this little joke I say to them. I sit on my patio in the summer evenings having my coffee and I listen to the sounds of war in the background. And it's something you learn to live with. You kind of put it far away, but you can tell by the sound of the explosion if it was very close, if it was on the next kibbutz, if it was right outside of our fence. You get to know what's incoming and what is our retaliation, what is an outgoing.
Are you covered by Iron Dome at all? You're getting all these.
No,
you're so close. How come you're not getting coverage?
Because the Iron Dome is built for rockets, and rockets only go far distance. We get the Qassam.
You're getting mortars?
We get Qassam and mortars, yes.
You know, we spoke today to probably upwards of 20 people, residents of the area.
Okay.
And I think without exception, they all said similar things to what you said about hope, etc. But they were all very angry. And I see you. I believe you when you say you're not. But
I'm
are
not
you?
angry because again, like I said, there's fanatics on both sides. We both have our fanatics, they're good and bad. I don't want to put those kind of titles on people. But I'm here long enough that I've seen a different side. I know that inside the Gaza Strip there are good people. I know that they are suffering under the rule of Hamas. I know that they hide under the kitchen table when we bomb them. I know that they don't want this anymore. We had a few workers here that years ago, not the war from 2 years ago, they asked us to fire them because the Hamas was threatening them if they had a job, a position within Israel, they had work papers to get into the country, then they were being forced physically and through their children to do some kind of terrorist attack. So they asked us to fire them because they didn't want to hurt us because we're on a different relationship. Yeah. So again, it shows you there are good people there, but the more and more it goes on, the longer the hate stays in there, the longer it's being passed on to another generation of children, 6, 7, 8 years old that are already standing or, throwing grenades or, just standing there. It's something that you
there was a go ahead.
Do you have also some contacts to Gaza by phone also?
There's 3 people here that, yes, do speak to them once in a while, yes.
Oh, you speak to your Arab neighbors?
To people
There's 3 families here, yes, that do speak to them. That we gave them cell phones that we could
how are they doing?
Out how they're doing. I don't know. I haven't heard from one of my neighbors. Is one of the people that speak with them, and I haven't asked her in a while. But I'm sure it's very difficult for them. The people who, and it's also we're talking about the older generation now. That used to work here, that knew us years ago, that know what it's like to be in Israel, that know us, that we don't want any more than they do to, live in hate and
do you have a fantasy of thousands of Israelis locking hands and just walking to meet thousands of Palestinians from the other side?
Nice. My fantasy is something that once was. We used to go in a tractor and just we have the beach here is like 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers away. We used to go on a tractor in the wagon to the beach. They have palm trees up to the water. It's beautiful. And if they would only, I don't know that. I don't think they know beauty. I don't think the people that are living there have. It's just horrible, and it's a shame.
Would you please repeat again when this actually happened and where you were at the time?
Wait a minute. Let me get my thing. It was Monday.
This was Monday morning at 7 o'clock?
This was Monday morning. 10 minutes to 6.
10 minutes to 6. So
yes, because it wakes everybody up. First of all, depends on where you're sleeping. Most people slept in their home shelter that night because the night before was we had a lot of color reds, we had a lot of color red alerts, and we were asked to sleep in the home shelters, so most people did go over to it. So in the morning, at 10 minutes to 6 in the morning, either another color red alert, or people just woke up from the bomb, from the noise itself.
You were here,
I was in my room, yes. In my room, yes.
so you went into.
So I was
emergency
seeing,
mode, or-
yes. The emergency mode, again, it depends on where you are. We also have this horrible beeper that always has to be on. It makes a horrible beeping noise, and it's very, very loud. And it's supposed to go off simultaneously with the color red alert. The color red alert is like a loudspeaker system, and it connects to I think the heat of the rocket or something, and then as soon as it connects that, then it does the red alert.
Could you take it a bit back, this
Yes.
one, and just would like to
We're in
have one photo when you
Pennsylvania.
are looking in our direction, because
Okay.
otherwise...
Yes, thank you.
1 second, please. Where in Pennsylvania are you from?
I'm from a small place, Levittown, outside of Philadelphia. Yes, you know. What station? What channels are you from?
I'm from the Jewish Press.
Okay.
Haaretz.
Alice, okay. And you're
I'm
from?
from Frankfurter Rundschau, Berliner Zeitung, German press.
Oh, very nice. Okay. So you've come all the way to here. What made you? What made this the attraction of your visit?
No, I mean,
Because-
we are coming in here, we went to Ashdod, we went to Ashkelon,
Yes.
we wanted to see the situation
Because
in
of
the south.
the. Okay. Yes.
Well, actually, it was the Ministry of Hasbara was creating the opportunity to speak to civilians here and to try and assess how
Yes.
people responded. And I'm walking away from you feeling
Hope. Tell me hope.
really lovely. Yeah.
Yes,
No, I don't. Listen, I'm also a very cynical in person, but
Okay.
but
No, I can go to that place if you want.
yeah, no. But I trust that you genuinely are hopeful, and that's a very lovely thing to see, regardless of my feelings. I don't.
Even after the war 2 years ago, what was it called?
Cast lid.
Yes, Cast-led war. I
Terrible
also led. There was an organization that collected again clothing and food. Most of the things that go into the Gaza Strip, the Hamas takes them, and the civilians don't get them. So we tried. We had like a whole chicken house, lul, big, huge storage bins of clothing and things like rice and flour and sugar and anything that was in cans and stuff that we were trying to get through to civilians and not through the Red Cross or other organizations, because most of it went to the Hamas, or they were supposed to divide it among the civilians, and it was never done, and they're suffering as much as we are.
How do you spell your name, please?
Carol,
Right.
Carol,
Right.
and Simantov, I spell it Simantov. Simantov.
Thank you so much.
Simantov.
Yes.
Thank you, Carol.
Yes.
And
Thank
you are
Thank
a
you.
nurse, meaning whatever.
I'm a nurse here in the community. I work with a male nurse, and he's also the ambulance driver.